Hi guys, it's Talking Charts here. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Uh, First off, this is gonna be my first charting video. I'm gonna be posting on my page, and um, I'm hoping moving forward I can assist as many people as I can in teaching them how to trade. My current pairs that I mostly focus on is USD, JPY, pound, JPY, and a pound USD. And from time to time, I will trade the Euro USD or the USD card. All right. But my baby right here is the Great British Pound, Japanese yen. So if this is something which you're interested in, you want to hit the like and subscribe and follow button. I have helped in the past so many people on TradingView, and I post my weekly chart analysis, and sometimes I post like daily, what you guys would call signals. I'll give them up there in TradingView. So but I realized I could do so much more for the trading community, especially my followers on TradingView. I have almost 207 followers. So I'm going to make a notification. I want you all 207 followers to follow me here on YouTube as well. Because I am working on developing a time slot where I will create these videos and post them up for you guys to mark your weekly analysis on charts. Okay. So right now we're looking at the pound JPY on a 4 hour time frame. That's what I use to start my analysis. Sometimes I'll go to the daily. The daily is almost like the 4 hours, just to be honest. If you go to the daily, it's almost like the 4 hour. So let's stick to the 4 hour time frame here. Excuse me there. And we can find out here that on the 4 hour time frame on the pound JPY is that if you were a trend line trader, you would have an upward trend line looking like this. Okay. I don't trade trend lines, all right? I don't. But I have realized that sometimes it's good to have trends on your charts. It helps out, right? It helps out to like filter some noise. So we have this upper trend line facing this. We have almost 1, 2, 3, 4 points, even though this is not touching perfectly, but it's not accurate. Trend lines are not accurate. So some people be like, you got to touch 4 3 points. I have almost 3 points. So if I want to push it, I will bring it over here for the third touch. But this is the 2 touch points right here for the upper trend line. Okay. And on the 4 hour, we can clearly see here that we have a resistance level right here and 196.37, I think 196.37 ish. I don't go by direct candles, I just go by levels. Okay, so the market is not respecting candles for anyone. It just goes where it gotta go. And most of the important thing you want to check during your trading is that is the momentum mostly, right? So momentum right now here is upward. We're going to the upward direction, and we are contacting this resistance here. And in such resistance, mostly when we want to expect a sell, all right? And looking at this, if we break that resistance, our next target up is 97.81. Why 97.81? I'm gonna put that for you to see later or very soon, which is have the next resistance up there. Okay, 97, which means if we go above this supply right here or resistance right here, this is not a supply zone, this is a resistance zone because price touched it multiple times and find it difficult to break. All right, so basically it is a resistance zone, and the supply zones on this pair will be all the way here at 200, I think. Or right here, it's still a second supply zone here. If I clone this and we bring that up here, these are areas where you want to look to sell. All right, that is if price can break above that. This was a drop based drop area, and this has been acting as a sell zone for the past couple of months. Okay, and looking at this pair as well, if you want to consider the geopolitical conflict going on with Iran and Israel, I am kind of really doubtful if we can push through this if there is not a solution to that conflict as soon as possible. Okay, the market doesn't like, or pound JPY mostly doesn't like conflict. It doesn't like financial conflict. It doesn't like war conflicts. All right. So on the 4 hour, that's what we have. And I could say, looking at this chart on the 4 hours, we have this upper trend line. Price may reject here, make for a bounce, and maybe we shoot up and we test the supply or this resistance or more. Okay. And due to that conflict as well, there's so many things we got to put into consideration about this price. All right. So we go on the 30 minutes. That's where I look for my buy and my sell zones. On the 30 minutes, price actually closed above the VWAP. This is the VWAP I have on my chart, and price is currently above the 9 EMA. All right, and we have our zones there. So I just want to let you know, if price is to come down here and retest this VWAP, which it could, and breaks below this VWAP at 194.94, there is a high possibility we could be coming down to this area, 194.55. Why is it possible that we come there? If we look to the left, we have another zone here. Okay, it is a distribution zone. And in the past, this zone there was a high concentration of orders to the upside. And even though we did down, it was a drop-based drop area. Now, most drop-based drop areas, when price shoots above them, they kind of become support. Okay, so if you're looking at that, we have another area here, which is kind of a demand, a low area of demand here, which price could bounce off from. All right, and not just that, this is also going to bring us back to this trend line, the 4-hour trend line. All right, so that is what I'm seeing there on the pound JPY. And not just that, if we keep shooting down, we have another demand zone here. Okay, we have another second demand zone, which can be used, which we can use. Sorry about that. Right here, we have another demand zone on 93.47, which is a great zone. Or if you want to jinx it, you want to come to 93.22. Am I saying price is going to come all the way down here? Not very sure, but given that we have this war going on, anything is possible. Okay, anything is possible if this war thing keeps going on with Israel and Iran. You guys call it Iran and whatnot. Okay, so we have that. And looking at this, I'm just gonna give you guys the zones where we have the buy areas and the sell areas. All right, on the 4-hour, on the daily. This is a 30 minutes time frame. We have a great concentration area here at 189. But this price is gonna come all the way to 189. I doubt it. On the 4-hour, even though it's a 30 minutes right here. But if you open your charts, we have a good zone, good buy zone here. It's a 4 hours buy zone, I think. We have that. But what is most interesting to me right now is this upper trend line, which the market seemed to be respecting very much, higher highs. So we want to put that into consideration. And I'm going to expand this better so I can get my zones where I think it's comfortable for me to buy. So if I zoom out on that, as I said, we're currently above VWAP at 194.93, and that VWAP itself act like a kind of support. So if I make this green, just in case we come back here, there's possibly going to be a support area here, bounce back and retest 9 EMA. If that is not possible, and there's a high sell area, that means price is going to come back all the way down here if the news brings that up. So I put this on the charts a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, and the analysis basically says that if we open above 195.30 in this coming session, if we open above this high volume zone here, there's a possibility we might just bounce off from here and we retest this supply zone. But if price is to gap down all the way down here, then there could be a sell area all the way down to 193, or at least this touch zone here for the upper trend line. Okay, that is just an analysis. You cannot tell what the market is going to do or not do. So basically, supply zone above this, sorry, resistance zone here. Above this resistance, we have a supply at 197.58. If prices to start going up here, you want to make sure you close your positions here for longs, or you can hold them if you want to. It's up to you. And remember this line here, it's a support zone. If price is to break through this, then we're coming down to 195, 194.46, give or take, because we have a high note here and another high note here where price touched this trend line and went back up. So we might come back to retest British pound USD, and we go on the 4 hour. We are also in an upward trend, even though it is kind of not as accurate as it should be. The 4 hour, we have been moving slowly on the 4 hour. And if you want to get a trend line here, even though it's not as beautiful as a pound JPY, we have something like this. If you want to hold that like that, I'll bring it down closer this way. 1 second there. If you want to do that, okay. If you want to hold this like that, then we have 2 touch points. All right. That is not really accurate. I will take that off. Or we can do this. That is why I don't trade trend lines, because sometimes it's hard for you to actually see exactly. And if you draw that on the trends, you realize there really isn't much here to work on as far as trend lines are concerned. But we are looking at this trend right here for the 4 hour, which is a higher highs here. We got 2 higher highs here, 1 higher high, so which is good. But looking at that, we can also draw here and see here basically that we have a good support area here. It was resistance before, now it is support. Now we have a support area there on the 4 hour, and expand that. We have a resistance here at, we have a resistance. I'll bring it towards this candle here. We got a resistance here at 136.09 all the way to 136.32. So you can still carry that all the way up there if you want to. But with this pair, I find out that when price breaks above a figure, it always comes back down to the 70s to test a retest or whatnot. So we have that. Give me a second. That is definitely an area for a sell. If you're looking at this resistance here, down to the 30 minutes where I find my entry, price is currently above 9 EMA and also above VWAP, all right, which is going to act as support. But if price is to break below these numbers, below 25, 35.73, and we come over to 35.30, there is a high possibility we might be coming down to this area here with the high volume note. I am also a volume profile trader. And what I see here is 2 support areas, okay? You got support here. We have a support zone here, which you could use. 134.94 for price to bounce off. And also, if you look at this right here is VWAP for the previous market session. I think the third market session before this closing. So picture perfect here. We have support. If this breaks, 195.20 breaks, because it's been there a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, and keep shooting up. If this support here breaks, then we're looking for price to come below 135 and 134.90, give or take, for a possible buy area. For the geopolitical conflict, I don't think this really affects the pound, but if there is conflict, the pound as well is a safe haven. People prefer the pound over the USD when there is war. Maybe, maybe not. We got to find out about that. So that is what we get for this pair right here, okay? For the pound USD. And if we want to go further, these are the zones I'm seeing I can look at. Support right here on the green line, and we are above VWAP, which is a bullish sentiment, and 30 minutes candle was really huge, so they're actually saying we want to buy this pair. And we have resistance here. If this resistance break, then we're talking about going all the way to 36.60 or 36.80. Why is that? Is it possible? We haven't tried that yet for a long time. Even on the daily, we don't have that yet. Okay, on the daily here, it still shows that price is at a supply zone right here. right? We're currently at the supply zone on the daily. If we break above this, then we're thinking maybe the next push up would be all the way here. Now, is that a thing we can have done this week? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see how the conflict goes with Iran and Israel, because conflict move pairs, to be honest with you about that. And I will zoom out this chart to look for perfect areas where um, my volume profile uh, orders are sitting. So we have a high volume note here at 194, so 134.93. Good area to buy. We have a couple of them just sitting here waiting. And we also have a strong resistance here that in a couple of days, a couple of past sessions, it's been difficult for this pair to break. And so basically, if prices to break below this VWAP at 60, you should be looking at the possibility that price could come all the way back and retest 21, which is almost a 40 pip move. And if this resistance or the support doesn't hold, you're probably looking at price going all the way back to one at 34.90. If price just starts shooting up from here, we have a little resistance zone here to consider at 136.20 and 136.09.